We're on location at Simon Fraser University's main campus on Burnaby Mountain, where rumors have persisted for more than 2 decades that SFU has the highest suicide rate among Canadian universities. Let's take a closer look at whether there's any truth to this claim, or it is nothing more than an urban myth that won't go away. Located on top of Burnaby Mountain, SFU's main campus has always been criticized for its isolated location, gloomy and rainy weather in the winter, and cold concrete structure. These are often cited as the reason behind the rumor that SFU has a high suicide rate.
It just looks sad. The buildings look sad, and when you're on campus every day, you don't want it to look sad. You want to you feel excited to come to campus, kind of thing.
My interpretation of the campus kind of changes with the weather, I would say. I think those two are very related because on days like today when the clouds are gray, it really brings out the gray on the campus, makes it, I don't know, it's a little more solemn, I would say.
According to a 2010 survey conducted by American College Health Association and National College Health Assessment about the health of SFU students, 7.3% of the students interviewed claimed that they seriously considered suicide within the last 12 months, with female students having a slightly higher percentage than male students, indicating that female students are usually more stressful than male students. On the other hand, 1.4% of the students interviewed attempted suicide, with male students having a slightly higher percentage than female students.
There is a myth that suicide has a higher rate, and that is a myth. There's absolutely no evidence of that. And the numbers at SFU for suicide ideation or completed suicides is quite similar to other universities in Canada and the US. So that is a myth. I've heard it, but it's not true.
That it had the highest suicide rate and that it was built to emulate a prison. So combined, it was kind of discouraging, but I know now that isn't true. It's far from true.
SFU has been working to provide students a healthy campus community. Health and Counseling Service take the initiative to promote student health and well-being by offering counseling services, online wellness services, and suicide prevention training workshop called Support Over Suicide. A group of students established a High Five campaign to further encourage students to openly discuss about mental health.
We have our Healthy Campus Community programming that is looking at systems and spaces as well. So you'll see that there's nicer spaces going up on campus for students to relax, and so we're looking at how can we promote wellness and health, overall health, and then we have prevention. So we try to have messaging for students who are at risk.
Despite the efforts to address this sensitive issue, the topic is still considered a taboo among administration and staff. Many were reluctant to comment on the myth, and few were able to cite where the myth began. Since there are no recent statistics showing that SFU's suicide rate is indeed the highest among Canadian universities, are there any reasons to believe that this is true? Cynthia, SFU Burnaby, on the Hill.